Hello everyone. So you just finished your campaign run of Hellclock and you're about to start Ascension, but you don't know where to get started. I am here to help today. I'm going to walk you guys through what I do for my starting run as a mage build. I will show other builds in future videos, but this one is specifically if you want to start down the mage path. This matters less if you are deep into Ascension, like high hell levels, because you're going to have a lot of points to work with, but this is coming straight out of the campaign. So if you are starting, you're going to want to get to Ascension level 10 or hell level 10 here so you can unlock the next one. My suggestion for doing this is to do your tree like this. So the important thing to note with hell levels right now is that getting negative gold gain is one of the worst things you could possibly do. Enemies moving faster and attacking faster is pretty brutal. It's not as bad as it was since the throwing zombies got a little bit nerfed, but it's still pretty bad, especially early on when you have less constellation points. Having less choices is terrible. 10% resistance, 10% resistance. Enemies have a little bit of area, doesn't really matter that much, and minus 20 physical resistance is probably the worst thing. The new tricks thing doesn't matter all that much. This is what I would go with if I was starting. In fact, it is what I'm going with and what I'm starting, because this is like a separate file. This is my campaign file. So if I am starting my mage, and this is typically how I like to do it, I will take this point here, the 3 martyrs. We're going to fill up this tree entirely. This is the whole point of it. And why I think it's so good is because we get power orbs. Power orbs deal a lot of damage. And not only do they deal damage, they destroy barrels and crates and everything, which allows you to get gold for free, which is pretty great. So I'm going to confirm that. Now from here, you have options. I personally think you want to go into the lightning tree. However, if you want to get fancy with it, you can go over here and take this tree and do like a hybrid mage dex build. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to take the lightning damage. Hitting enemies with lightning damage reduces their lightning resistance. Lightning damage and lightning damage. This is what we're gonna go just for this specifically. And we're gonna do something here that might seem a little counterintuitive now that you have access to all of your abilities, but we don't have any relics buffing them, so they're mostly not that great. We're just gonna take Old Bell. You do have the option here if you want to take another ability of your choice, but I would not take more than 2. I'm just gonna use Old Bell as an example. Like, I'm not gonna add anything else. But if you feel like adding one more skill, that's fine. So we obviously have nothing. You go in, you look, you have nothing, you can't do anything. Our goal here is to get to floor 11, or beat floor 11 specifically, get all the curse shrines along the way, and hopefully get enough gear and relics that we can set ourselves up for a good day 2. The hardest part of a new Ascension run is the Act 1 by far. And there's plenty of videos on the internet showing you how to get like your in-game like Act 3 builds. Not much here for the beginning, and this is what's important. So the joke is with these power orbs is that every 850 mana we spend, okay, this is a really lucky start, but it wouldn't matter. We still be taking damage. We're gonna take damage and area effect, but we're gonna take this super high damage. And this is the reason that we're only having 1 skill. This means that we're only going to see bell upgrades in our level ups. There's another important thing that we got to do when we get to the shrines, the blessing shrines at the end of levels, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Obviously, like, if you're watching this, I assume you know what those are, since this is for people who have finished the campaign, or you're like close to it, or you're interested. You at least know a little bit about the game, right? Bell's pretty good. Just going to clear things. We're just going to keep taking damage. We do not want to reduce its mana cost, very specifically, because we need to maintain the cost of, you know, generating lightning orbs. And we're just going to blast our way through. Should be pretty easy, not a problem. The real lucky... Okay, this is kind of a lucky run, but I mean, that happens sometimes when you're recording YouTube videos. It's like not the average thing. I just tested this twice, and I got to I got to floor 12 twice. From that point on, I got like 1 shot, but that's just part of the game. But if you're getting to floor 12 on your first run in Ascension, you're like off to the races. Since, again, you only have 7 runs for the first act, But if you get to 12 on 1, there's a good chance you could beat Act 1 and 3 in 3 attempts pretty easily. So we're just gonna nuke everything. Our area of effect here is pretty good. So the important thing to note when you're doing this is that you want to kill every elite specifically and pick up every chest. And these blessing fountains, the most important thing we can get here is mana up. These are not random. Like, what you get, your selection here is random, but they each have their own, like, trees. So we're picking the mana up one so that we can cast more bells, and maybe more importantly, the next upgrade, where one of the potential upgrades is increased mana regeneration, which really goes crazy with Bell once you spam. So this, I've noticed this survivor fight kind of sucks with Bell. I think it was a little better with Repeater, but Bell long term, I feel like gets more value because you kill more enemies, you get more soul stones. What we're trying to do here is when the cursed shrines show up, which you're gonna find if you haven't played Ascension yet by this point. I don't know if you found cursed shrines in the campaign. I honestly don't remember. It's been a little bit. But the goal here is to clear all the cursed shrines, and hopefully we get a weapon out of it. Right? If you need to play this slow, you can play it slow. Time's not that much of a factor. But each elite you kill has a chance to drop gear, and I've done this 2 times in a row now prior to recording this just to test to make sure. I think it's guaranteed to drop you a weapon, like a gun upgrade, which is going to significantly increase your damage. So we're going to go here. We're going to take our mana regeneration. Now, the only problem with Old Bell is that it's plague damage and not lightning. If it was lightning, this would be an insane start. Notice I'm out of potion, so I have to be a little careful right now. But it's okay. All right, let's take more damage. When in doubt, just take more damage. We don't have the crit to support it. Now, I guess if you were to take the crit buff skill as a secondary, you could go with like crit damage as a stat. But whatever. Another thing we want to do is make sure we have enough money later so that we can purchase relics and gear from the end of level blessing shrines, or the end of floor blessing shrines, to help propel our late game. And then after this run, I'll show you guys what I do, like transition this into the next, into wave 2. We'll take 30% area effect. That's pretty good. Let's grab this. Like what I do with my Infernal Bell talent tree. And constellations, it really just depends where you want to go from here. We can just take elemental damage from this point. It's the mana regen that we were after. All right, so there's a cursed shrine on this floor. We are going to click on it. We're going to cleanse it. Hopefully, we're going to get loot. One of the other good things about going Cursed Bell is I think it's a lot safer than going something like Repeater, because we're getting a lot of base HP and MP because that's its rank up bonus. It's also very easy to trigger the lightning orbs. All right, we got a belt. So far, the last ones on this floor have always dropped a gun for me, so we'll see. If we don't get one, that's going to be rough. Looks like we have a whole set of other stuff. There's more pants. I'd rather have life. If this guy doesn't drop a gun, that's not great. Okay, so it's not guaranteed, so you can roll poorly. So ideally, you do want a gun. We need a weapon before the first boss. We're gonna want to make sure we kill every elite and just keep on keeping on. You know, Shrine of Learning is probably pretty good. Let's take damage. Because we don't intend on going super far, it's okay that we run out of level ups here. Take crit chance. It's cheap. All right, maybe this guy drops us something. Nope. Nope. That was an unlucky floor. I mean, I guess we get that for having the lucky lucky other stuff. All right. The epic upgrade on the bell at the very start of the run. Oh, actually? Huh. So last time I did this, there was another curse shrine on this floor, and I'm not really sure why. I guess you can have random curse shrines now. I don't remember that being a thing, but maybe it was always a thing and I just never noticed because it was random. All right, so beating the first guy is gonna be pretty hard. Not gonna lie. Without a weapon, unless I picked one up, I didn't notice. Now we did not. Unfortunate. We got every slot except a gun. So more often than not, you're gonna find a gun there, which is great. Here you could take mana up our damage. I think we're supposed to take mana up is the superior choice, but we are a bit behind. We might be able to do this though. Time becomes a factor when you don't find the gun though. That's another thing. So you're gonna at least get the one. Plus we have the damage from our orbs. So even without a weapon, we're still kicking his ass. The important thing here is to not let him hit you dead on with an attack, because if he does, you will die. Those little orbs will basically shotgun you, and well, that's it for our hero. But okay, this is good to know. Like, even without a weapon, we're still like pretty handily doing this. Now I don't know if we're gonna get to 11 because time-wise we're kind of hurting. Also, without a gun, it's gonna make that really difficult. So what you're gonna want to do here is plan for your future. So depending on what type of build you want to go to, you want to lean into it. So like we could bloody doll and say we want to like go down a summon build if we wanted to, and if we didn't want to do that, we could redraw, which is totally, you could spend all your money here. I'm fine with it. For the purpose of the video, I'm just gonna reroll. I mean, these are all pretty good. Whirlwind, you can do a whirlwind build. I'll take the tier 2 relic and let's take damage. See if we can, see how far we can get with no gun here. I don't again, I don't think we're getting very far past that guy unless we get a drop. But you never know. So we gotta find an elite. Then we have to actually manage to kill said elite. Okay, that seems to not be hard. But they gotta drop... they gotta drop a gun. Trinket of Power is kind of nice. Alas. Oh, you know what? We could probably buy a gun from up here. Not this one. It's the next one. Damn. I think it's the next one. One of these will have the option of a weapon. Or of blessed gear, I should say. Is the appropriate term. But yeah, the goal here is to ideally beat floor 11, hit your curse shrines, and put yourself in a good position for run 2. Where if you don't want to play Bell, you don't have to play Bell. I'm gonna grab this. We're gonna see if there's a chest up here. There is. So we're gonna hit him with the bell. The saved by the bell. Then we're gonna run over here and okay, this is the one. So no, this is relic. This is relic. Honestly, this is fine too. Some of these are really good. Like this is a really good relic to have. It's probably worth taking. 10 all resistances on a fairly small relic is nice. Maybe the blessed gears after that. I don't know. Maybe it's not set in stone what you get. I can't imagine we actually beat the Shadow Beast without a gun. I can't imagine it. But I think this just goes to show like how powerful the bell is starting like this. If even on a low roll run that we're like pretty far ahead. Right? No abilities, just bell. You gotta make sure you use your lightning orbs too. They hit pretty far away, but not like insane. I would say. Time is becoming a factor. So, yeah, we're not going to deal 500,000 damage here. But that's okay. So what you could do is you could just peace out. Especially if you're playing on hardcore, you could peace out. It just wouldn't kill you. We would just be wasting time to keep fighting him. Quick little tip. So at the end of that run, yeah, that was a gross. We only got this many levels, which is kind of bad. But we did get a lot of relics to mess with. So this is the other important part that I wanted to show you guys. And we can do some shenanigans here. Once the game loads. All right, so depending on what spells you want to go after, you have soul stones to buy stuff with, right? And not only that, you kind of want to break some of these. So quick tip, like this 100 life is really good. We're probably let's just say we're going to use all of these, right? Or better yet, say we didn't find anything we wanted here, right? We're going to just throw some of these common things on. They're going to give us a little buff, whatever. We're going to dismantle these. So these are actually going to count towards our bell. All the stuff that we just disassembled, which is super important. So we're level 9 now. Remember, we were 7 when we stepped out of the run. So the important thing to do is to level up your base damage. And get to minimum skill level up first. So depending on what skill you want to go with, in this case, we'll just pick spell. You can respec later, not a big deal. You want to level this up. And in my opinion, you want to max out base damage as fast as possible. My current path is base damage, 2 points into this, max level skill here. And then you want to go up here, take soulstone, and then kind of your choice. I kind of like gold myself, but you could go with blessed gear. Just so you can get the reliquary size upgrade. But what we're going to do is go over here because obviously we didn't find a gun, right? So no matter what we're after, we have to find a gun. So there is one. It's not really good, but we probably take it. And the reason we would take it and not keep rolling is because there's some other shenanigans. So like if we were to just buy all 3 of these relics, right? Let's say there's not a skill we want to use. Just burn them. I'm just doing this for example. If there is a relic you're after, go for it, keep it, don't throw it away. But look, we just got our 2 more points. We get our base damage here, and we can start going into soulstone gain, which is going to help in the future. So even on a not so insane run, we got to level 11. We were only using bell. We have a full set of gear. Again, this could have, it could have gone better, but that's okay. And then over here, you can do what you want to do. Probably just take shock intensity up. if you had gotten more cursed shrines, ideally you would get a couple more and maybe you could finish this up. But if you can't, that's okay. And you just go from there. But that is how I would start a mage. And you could do stuff like this could take you to the Holy Rosary build. This is actually really good with the Whirlwind build because it's all lightning. You just have to make sure you can survive. So yeah, that is how I would start a mage. And then like from here, depending on what relics you decided to keep, in this case, we didn't really have anything fancy, so I'd probably add one skill, maybe like a Prayer of Vengeance. But depending on what you want to do, you switch it out, and I would still probably not fill out my bar until I had relics to support most of the skills. Just make sure when you do this, you also increase the levels. So like the base damage goes from 300% of your base damage to 480%, and for the mana cost goes up like 80, but it doesn't matter. So now we're hitting hard. There's no dummy over here, unfortunately, but yeah. So that's how I would start a mage. If you guys like this video and you want to see how I start like a dexterity character, quote unquote, or like a strength life-based character, let me know and I'll do videos for those. I think this game's a ton of fun. I think the most interesting part is the Act 1 Ascension stuff, especially on like higher hell levels because it gets really difficult. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you next time. Jeff out. Bye.